So as you can see, I have almost all the windows on this side removed that I'm going to remove. The only one I haven't removed yet is this one, and that's mainly because I wanted to show you how I did it. I'm not sure how well you can see with the lighting. But basically, I took this, excuse me, swallowed something there. I took this box knife or craft knife, or let's just say it's a really sharp knife or a box knife, and then I just went along the edges like so with this knife. It's a lot more difficult to do with one hand, but I went along each side, including the top and bottom, like so. And for most bus windows, especially the older ones, this should be all you have to do to remove them, is just run a blade like this along the edges, probably a couple different times, just to make sure you break the seal enough. I usually go about twice on each section. I found that the bottom isn't as big of a pain, because usually when you pull out, you start at the top. And so as long as you get the top nice and unsealed, then you should be able to just pull it out like so. Now watch it not work as I have it on camera. There we go. See? Nice and easy, lemon squeezy. And so that's the last window that I'm removing. I'm leaving 2 up here on each side, and then 2 on each side on the back, and obviously those 2. I might remove and or cover up the windows that are on this back door here, but that all depends on what I decide to do. So yeah, I will record a separate segment once I get these cleaned of me putting in one of these sheets of metal. I probably won't show you the whole process, because putting in all these tiny little screws with the bolt heads are kind of hard to do, let alone trying to do it while filming. But I'll at least show you how I get put in and what I'm using to seal it up. What I'm using to clean around the windows, in case any of you are wondering if I'm using any special tools, it's really just a paint scraper, some sandpaper, paper towels, and then vacuuming up the dust with my shop vac. So I'm really not doing anything too special as far as cleaning them. I'm just making sure I get all the old sealant stuff off, which I found there's more of it on these front windows than on the rest of these. And so it shouldn't take me too long. And I probably won't record me putting one of these sheets up until I get back to this last one over here. So I'll see you in a little bit, and hopefully this project will be completed. Bye. Hey everyone, so here's the section of my video where I show you guys exactly how I clean these. I have 4 different items I use, 2 of which are just a paint scraper and a flat-headed screwdriver, and then paper towel and a piece of sandpaper, if you can see that there. It's kind of hard for me to see the screen because of the weird lighting. As you can see, I did all these windows already, and so just like this was my example for how I remove the windows, it's going to be my example of how I clean them. So first I just basically go around the edge with the paint scraper and get a majority of the old adhesive and sealant off, like so. Hopefully you can see this and the camera's not shaking too much, because I'm kind of trying to one-hand this. And so I just go around all of the sides, like so, and take and remove the old adhesive and the sealant, as I already said. And so, yeah, just like so. It's pretty easy. I won't show you me doing all 4 sides. I'll just show you the 4 steps. And then I come in here, and this is mainly just for the small corners here on the bottom of each window. So I basically just take this here and clean out all the gunk and glue and whatnot that gets jammed right in these corners when they're putting the windows in. It's mainly a lot of what looks like silicone and some adhesive. So I basically clean all that out because you want to get as much of the old adhesive out as possible before you put these or any new windows in, because it just helps the new adhesive to bond better. And I'll show you what I used in a minute. Everyone uses something different. Some people use auto grade construction adhesive. I used what probably some would call regular construction adhesive, but I'll show you the bottle and what it says. You all know part of what the bottle says is just advertising, and so, you know, trying to make their product better than the other ones, and it worked for me, and so that's what I bought. So that's basically what I do with that tool. Sometimes I go back and get up more gunk with the tool that I previously used, but other than that, it's pretty much a full 4-step process of just using those 4 items to get as much of this gunk off as possible. Sometimes it's easier if you get another angle on it. These windows were not nearly as hard as the front 2 windows I took out. I don't know why, but for some reason they used like some weird red plastic like putty on the front windows, and so those I had to spend a lot more time on than these. These, as you can see, take me maybe 5 minutes when I'm not talking to do. So then, well, I also use a shop vac, but at this point I probably won't. So I just go through and I wipe it off and wipe off the edges, just kind of get off any rigid like dust or moisture that's on there and stuff. And then I take the sandpaper and I just go and try to sand off whatever I couldn't scrape off. And this is the process I've been doing, and it works. So yeah, I'll finish cleaning this window up, and then I'll show you how, in a way, how I install it and what I use for construction adhesive. And so, be back in a minute. Hey everyone. So I finished cleaning that up, and then I'm going to put down the construction adhesive which I got, which is the Loctite PL Premium construction adhesive. It claims 3 times stronger. It seems to hold really well and dry really fast. And then what I'm also going to go around and seal the windows on the outside with, once I'm done, is the waterproof 100% silicone window door, 10-year mold-free product protection, all the nice stuff they put on it, rated for wet and dry, freeze and sunproof, obviously non-paintable, but how I'm putting it on, I shouldn't need to be able to paint it anyway. So yeah, basically what I do with this construction adhesive is go around the perimeter in this wave pattern here. And again, I'm not going to show you how I do it, the whole thing. Or maybe I can. It doesn't really take me that long. It doesn't take much precision. It's just mainly a matter of covering enough of the surface with the construction adhesive so when I put the metal pan in, it has enough to hold it in place. Now, of course, that's not all that's going to be holding it in place. I also have metal to metal screws with the hex nut bolt thing, the hex bolt tip or head on them, which I'll show you those in a second. Sorry about my rambling. And those are gonna also be what mainly holds it on. This construction adhesive is for extra hold and extra barrier, so that way moisture doesn't get in or in between, hopefully. So that step's done. And then the last step that I'm gonna really be able to show you, because putting in those screws is really difficult and loud, is just me putting this in, which is going to be a little bit difficult one-handed. You might not be able to really see, but it's there. I just slide it underneath this ledge here. So there's like a ledge here where the window normally butts up against. So I put it on the other side of that, and then I just push it in until it won't go any farther, because there's overlaps of metal, as I'm sure you saw. There's overlaps of metal on the top and sides. Not on the bottom so much, but that's not as big a deal. And so I bump it right up against there. And then as you can see on this one, I take these screws here that are 3/4 inch, so that way they don't touch each other, because I'm literally putting them in the exact same spot with how these holes are pre-drilled into this metal. And then I just take and I go around the perimeter of this pan with those, and then that holds it in tight place permanently. So, sorry about my grammar issues. I'm kind of running on low energy and gonna be leaving after I finish this for supper. So, I didn't cover in the last video, but I'd just like to thank Crichton Metals here where I live for doing these for me. I don't know if anyone from that team will see this video, but they were able to get me these 14 metal pans for $500 total. That's with bringing them to my house and everything, so I'm really grateful for that. And my next step after this will be to put foam board insulation in here, since I think it'll just be a better choice than getting more spray foam and doing such small sections. And then putting in 2x4s, and then doing some sort of header here, so that I can run wire through it, but it still looks like a 2x4, more or less. So that's the plan, is getting the rest of the framing done, putting up those walls that I've had back there for over a year now, and just moving on. Floors will probably be the last thing I do, so because I need to get the special 8mm waterproof vinyl plank flooring and the special mat that goes under that to help add an extra vapor barrier, so that way nothing ruins this plywood here. And then I gotta get rid of the windows, and yeah, just a short little cap of what I'm doing, recap. And yeah, I don't know if I'll do a closing segment. This is gonna probably be my closing segment, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy this short video. Please share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more on my bus. And as always, stop by my Patreon and get a t-shirt and support me financially, if you'd so choose. Alright, this is Tim signing off. Alright, so this is an ending segment. I decided to do one real quick, just going around the bus and seeing which windows I took out. On both sides, it's the exact same thing, but to make this ending segment a little bit longer, I'm going to go around the back, or the other side, and show you the other side. And so all the same windows on the same locations taken out. The reason I did that is because I kind of wanted to have that symmetry, I guess. I just kind of like the look of something in between the two windows, so the two windows aren't right next to each other, so it looks more homey, I guess. And then the reason there's 5 windows in a row taken out here is because this is where the bathroom and storage is going to be, and so obviously you don't need windows on either side. Got a cord sticking out there that was attached to the emergency window. I don't think I had that on this side. I guess I must not have paid enough attention to make sure that got in. Oh well, I'll just clip it off if it ends up being an issue. So yeah, I'm going to be signing off now, and hopefully we're good today. So see y'all later.